Please ignore the mess that is my apartment right now. I'm not gonna worry about it. We're not gonna worry about it. Okay. So anyway, back to the reading vlog. So I've been in a massive slump the past month, I guess. So it's March, or it's not even March, it's April now. Started off 2023 strong in January. I finished 7 books. In February, it was a little bit less. And then March, I don't know what happened. I didn't finish a single book. I started a bunch. I'm in the middle of a bunch, but I never finished any. And that's pretty rare for me. And I don't know. I haven't been into any of the books I've been reading lately. So I'm hoping that this book, Legends and Lattes, will get me out of this reading slump. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I really enjoy the cozy fantasy genre. I really liked other books I've read that were part of the cozy fantasy genre. So I'm thinking about books like Under the Whispering Door, The House in the Cerulean Sea, The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I've also just been in a fantasy mood lately. I just watched the new D&D movie last week and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. The subreddit R Fantasy just released their bingo scorecard, and I know Legends and Lattes would fill a few of those squares. And so I'm really motivated to start and finish Legends and Lattes. Plus, I just really love coffee. I don't know much about this book other than it has really cozy vibes, and it's about an orc who retires from violence and opens up a cafe. But just knowing that, I feel like I would really like this book. I'm hoping it's as good as the hype. So my goal is to finish it this weekend. I feel like I can do it. I'm hoping that this will help me build momentum to get me out of the reading rut I've been in. It's Friday now, and my husband and I have kind of a busy weekend. We're meeting up with a friend tomorrow. We're going to an orchestra concert tomorrow night and then hanging out with his family on Sunday. But I do have a good chunk of time today. Right now it's really sunny and it's been stormy and rainy the past week because it's April in Chicago. So I'm hoping to go outside and enjoy, what's left of the daylight and get some reading done. So let's go. Okay, so right now I'm here at museum campus. The sun has already set, so I'm not gonna read that much out here. I'm trying to enjoy what little sunlight I have left. But here is the view. I do have my book with me, so maybe we'll read, the first chapter or so. I have to meet my husband for a quick dinner. He just finished meeting up with some of his old coworkers. I'm gonna go meet up with him. He's gonna get there soon, and I'm still at museum campus, so honestly, probably just gonna fit in maybe the first chapter here, and then hopefully read a lot more tonight before I go to sleep. But damn, what a view, right? And here is my book. Okay, let's get reading. Which was only a few pages. I guess I just underestimated how long it would take me to do things if I'm filming. Things take a lot longer when you film, believe it or not. So I'm gonna go head back and meet my husband. I'm supposed to meet him by the Field Museum. Where's my husband?
rolling. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Back to high ground. Keep rolling.
It's like flat and then really steep.
Like a plateau.
Yeah. I found him.
Clean your optics.
I found him. That's my husband, DJ. Alright, it is now Saturday morning. I fell asleep reading this book, so not as far along as I wanted to be, but I am on page 64, or chapter 7, out of about 250 pages. But one thing I was really excited about for today as I continued reading my book is I got a package last night that I have yet to open. So this is from an apparel company called Rather Awesome. And if you can see, it's a book sweater. Isn't that so cute? So I saw this in person at the stall at C2E2. I tried on a different sweater, but they didn't have my size in this particular sweater, this book sweater. But the texture is really soft, it's really cozy, and it's perfect for, you know, snugly reading. And so I'm really, really excited about this. So probably gonna wear this today, and then I'll give you another update later. Going around Chicago, doing errands and hanging out with a friend. So, quick update, I am now on page 145 out of 250, so I'm gonna keep reading before we go to an orchestra concert tonight. Got a few hours until then. So reading update, I have about 60 pages left of this book. So gonna try to finish it here. Alright, I just finished Legends and Lattes, and immediate impressions. I absolutely loved it. I want some time to collect my thoughts, but I'll share more later. Now Monday. I finished the book yesterday and I had some time to think on it, I just want to say that it does live up to the hype. Sometimes books, they get a lot of talk, and then you read it and it's kind of disappointing. It was just an easy book to settle into. That was partially why I was in a reading rut. I just kept starting books that had been on my TBR, and I knew that I would enjoy if I could get into them. But I got into a state where I would read, 10, 20, 30 pages here, and then I'd stop, and then I'd start a new book, and then I'd stop. Because I couldn't get into a book, like I couldn't settle down into a book. And I had no issues at all with this book. You start off with action, you get to know the characters, you get to know their motivations and what they want to change. You go on this journey with them. And it was honestly such a pleasant read. If you're looking for a book that just makes your heart kind of want to squeal a little bit, I had so many of those moments. And if you've read the book, you probably know which character I'm talking about, where I just wanted to give this character a hug. I wanted this character to cook for me, just fawning over what was happening in this little coffee shop. And it was just a really, really nice story. I think one of the reasons why I loved this book so much was because it was someone trying something new. Viv was trying something new. And there was this entire process of discovery. And it was nice because I think a lot of times, especially as adults, when we try something new, we're really judgmental about it, even though it's something we're trying for the first time. I think Viv overall is a good example of someone who is passionate about something and, approaches this new endeavor with curiosity and non-judgment. And it's something that I wish I could do myself. This is literally my first reading vlog on my channel. And I've just had so many insecurities about this. And starting off my channel reading Legends and Lattes, it was such a pleasant experience because I got to see Viv and her friends work together, try out new things, enjoy learning, and it was great. It really had a positive effect on me. It really lightened my mood. I enjoyed the cute little romance, even though it wasn't the center, it was still there. So overall, I really loved this book. I think that it deserves all the talk that it's getting, and I hope more people read it. So something about me, I definitely have varied reading moods and reading tastes. So it's really hard for me to give books a numerical rating, and I think that everyone's numerical rating is different. That makes it difficult to understand how much they want to recommend a book. So I'm just going to lay it out. I'm going to say who or when you might be interested in reading Legends and Lattes, and when maybe it won't be for you. I have some notes right here. Let me just grab them. So I think you should read this book if you like the vibes from Great British Bake Off. You want those cozy fantasy, or you want those cozy vibes and people helping other people. You might want to read this book if you want a book that is easy to settle into. This book got me out of my reading rut. The world in Legends and Lattes is pretty much our world. It's just that the characters are mythical creatures. And that's pretty much the difference. It could have definitely taken place in our world. I guess there is, magic in this world, but for the most part, it was very much similar to the world we live in. It's not that different. So read this if you want a book that is easy to settle into, easy to get into. Read this book if you want a book that prioritizes found family and friendship. Read this book if you yourself are considering a new path, just like the main character Viv. This is a big one. Read this book if you're in the mood to romanticize mundane things and find joy and warmth in the small things in life. And this book might not be for you, or it might not be the right time for you. If your heart can't handle pure and wholesome vibes, if you're looking for a book that will utterly destroy you, this is not the book. This book will give you a hug instead. This book might not be for you, or it might not be the book for you right now. If you want a fantasy with thorough world building and explanation of magic system, this book again wouldn't be for you because it's pretty similar to our world. There is a little bit of magic and there's obviously mythical creatures. Otherwise, it's very similar to Earth as we know it. So I am really glad that I picked up this book. I'm glad I read it. It was definitely a good book to pull me out of my reading slump. And so if you've been finding it difficult to get into a book, if you were like me and switching and not settling into a book, definitely check this one out. It's a really great read. I highly recommend it. It deserves, the attention it has been getting. I'm looking forward to reading the sequel. That's something that I definitely want to pre-order, and I'm looking forward to learning more about cozy fantasy and reading more cozy fantasy books, because that was just a wonderful, lovely experience. All right, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.